Hello everybody, Texas Man here. I hope that you guys are all having a spectacular day. If you guys could please give this video a thumbs up if you guys do really enjoy it. Subscribe, of course, if you guys have not already. Also, do me the biggest favor of all, make sure you guys hit that bell notification button. Make sure you guys select all for all notifications. And if you guys have any movies or TV shows, tabletop games, or video games you guys are interested in me covering here on the channel, please let me know in the comment section down below. And we're going to be talking positives and negatives, talking about the last movie that has been officially released in the Riddick series of movies. So I've already talked about Pitch Black, I've already talked about the Chronicles of Riddick, Dark Fury, and the Chronicles of Riddick itself as well. And of course, we're going to talk about Riddick from 2013. I can't believe this movie came out in 2013. This movie is literally over a decade old at the time of recording this video. Just wow. So it has been a great adventure, like I said in my past videos, and if you guys have missed out on those, I will leave a link to the entire Riddick playlist at the end of this video so you guys can check them out. But as I said in those videos, I still feel that Pitch Black is still a really great self-contained story. Chronicles of Riddick, Dark Fury, and the Chronicles of Riddick, along with this movie, Riddick just really go out there. They really tried to make a universe, a franchise, and it just didn't work. Riddick is rated R, and it is about 2 hours long. It takes place about 5 years after the events of the ending of the Chronicles of Riddick. So this is a sequel to that movie. It is also trying to tie in and trying to be a sequel to Pitch Black and be the conclusion trilogy properly ending movie to this storyline, to this character that we have known for so many years. I will say Riddick does a great job trying to feel a lot more like Pitch Black. It's not a gigantic sci-fi extravaganza like the Chronicles of Riddick was. This feels more like Pitch Black in terms of the scope, in terms of the character. The film is more of a focus on Riddick fighting for survival against alien predators. They're very similar in terms of the alien monsters that we saw in Pitch Black. It's just these ones don't fly. They're more of a subterranean water-based like threat. And of course there are mercenaries in this film, and the mercenaries kind of factor into how this is a sequel to Pitch Black. I don't want to spoil it in case you guys haven't seen it for some reason. I feel like this movie it's a much better movie than the Chronicles of Riddick. Like, this should have been the actual sequel to Pitch Black, and the Chronicles of Riddick should just really not have existed. Like, this even being a sequel to the Chronicles of Riddick doesn't really matter. All that sequel information is just how Riddick gets to this new planet. That's all that the sequel to it being the Chronicles of Riddick is. It's like, okay, well, at the end of the last movie, now he's in control of this gigantic ghost army and they want to get to the underworld, basically. How do we tie that into the next movie? Well, they make it where he just tries to be assassinated by one of the commanders on this barren waste planet, and they don't kill him, but he gets stranded there. And there you go. We're done with that garbage shit that we made 20 years ago almost, and now we have Riddick, which is basically Pitch Black 2. And it works. This film has great sci-fi action. The film stars Dave Bautista, obviously known for his role as Drax in Guardians of the Galaxy movies. Katie Sackhoff, famous for her role in Battlestar Galactica, the newer one. And Carl Urban returns from the Chronicles of Riddick. Doesn't have that much screen presence, unfortunately. Like I said, he's only in the first 10-15 minutes of the movie. And he's more of a side character, just a reminder, hey, this is a sequel to the Chronicles of Riddick, and that's about it. And, of course, we have Vin Diesel coming back. And the storyline is very basic. You know, you got Vin Diesel, he's outnumbered, he's outgunned, he's trying to work with these survivors, these mercenaries and whatnot, and they're trying to get out of all these outcomes and try to get off the planet alive. Unfortunately, because we've already seen Pitch Black, and this movie is basically doing by-the-books numbers of Pitch Black, this film just has so many predictable moments. There's so many predictable outcomes. There's a bunch of unnecessary nudity. And I just, there's things about this movie that I liked, but at a certain point I paused it and I'm like, this movie's 2 hours. Even if you watch the director's unrated cut, this film is still about 2 hours long. Like, I think the director's cut adds like another 10 minutes, but you really don't feel it because of just how fast everything moves. But it's just long. It's way too long. This movie should have been 90 minutes. It's way too long. Like, I got to the 90-minute mark, I paused it, and I'm just like, my goodness, there's still another half an hour. Like, this movie's way too long for no reason. There are so many scenes, and yes, I watched the director's cut and the theatrical cut, but there are so many scenes out of both versions that should have been cut that they add nothing. Like, there's a point in the movie where the mercenaries go to this cave. It's like, well, he's not here. He must be back at the outpost. Oh, shocking revelation! I'm just like, oh shit, he's probably be back at the outpost. And duh. I'm just like, that entire 5-10 minutes just adds screen time, and it just makes the characters look stupid, and I didn't like it. My favorite character in this entire movie, though, was the alien dog. This alien little dog that Riddick raises from being a little alien puppy and raises and trains and everything. I think that dog was just great. Unfortunately, he does get killed by one of the mercenaries, and when that happened, I was like, no! I really wish that dog lived. I really wish the dog would have lived. It would have been great. Just I hated it. I mean, how the dog does end up dying, I liked how it died, unfortunately, if that makes any sense. Not saying that I like animal cruelty or anything, but I'm like, how the dog ends up being killed and why, I think was done great, in my opinion. So I don't want to spoil it in case you guys haven't seen it, but I think they did a pretty good job at it. But overall, Pitch Black still remains a self-contained story that if you haven't watched any of the sequels, you're really not missing anything, unfortunately. You're not like, Star Wars, where it's like, okay, if you watch A New Hope and you don't watch Empire Strikes Back or Return of the Jedi, it's a crime if you only watch A New Hope. If you just watch Pitch Black, you're good. You're good. And that has come from somebody that has officially watched all of the movies. Like I said, when I did my Pitch Black review, I watched Pitch Black and that was it when it came out. I never watched any of the other sequels when they came out in theaters because I figured Pitch Black was just a good self-contained story. And now that I have seen all of the Riddick movies, I still stand by that statement. So that hasn't changed now that I've watched all these films. There are talks, of course, that they're going to possibly do a 4th/5th Riddick movie, if you want to count Dark Fury as part of the series. If they do a new one, I will go watch it. But my anticipation and excitement for it is going to be like a 2 out of 10. As long as they don't make a Chronicles of Riddick movie where they try to retcon the past movies and try to add in all this world building that just popped out of thin air, fine. If they do that, I'm not going to be fine. I'll understand why, because they're trying to build a franchise, but I still won't like it as a movie fan and a critic. That's going to do it for this video. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. Look forward to more videos and streams coming out soon. Bye, guys.